What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. You guys saw last video, we got the motor out of this thing. It was quite the process. It took me like 2 weeks, but we got her done. And honestly, I feel so accomplished. I know that was the easy part of this build, but it's one step closer to having a built motor and a really fast GTR. So in today's video, you guys saw by the title, we are stripping this thing down. We're gonna figure out what the damage was, and your boy is gonna get a built motor. So she should be good for about 1200 wheel. You guys know GTRs are super reliable. Mine wasn't, but I wasn't the sole owner of this thing. If this had been in my ownership since it was brand new, it'd still be reliable. But I don't know what the history on this thing was, but she's gonna be good for about 1200, and I think I'm gonna shoot for 8 to 9. I think 8 to 9, that's a good daily, right? That's a good street car. We're not gonna go crazy big on the turbo side of things because I don't want it to be laggy. I had a laggy Evo. I don't want this thing to be laggy. I want it to hit, and I want it to hit hard. It's so nice outside, so I'm gonna pull this thing out into the sun, and we're gonna get her stripped, ripped, and dipped, baby. But we gotta get turbos off. We gotta somehow get the motor off of the subframe. Not really sure how that's gonna work, but we're gonna figure that out. We gotta get downpipes off. We gotta get all of this crap off, you know. Once I get these turbos off, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna send these in, and I think I'm gonna go with some FP greens. FP greens should be good for, I don't know, 700-800, I think. Yeah, that'll be good. Oh, and then you guys can see now that this thing is out, I gotta rebuild that guy. All right, so I'm gonna pull this thing out in the sun. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna start stripping it. Maybe we'll see what the damage was. That's the thing, it's like I wanna see what the damage is before I send it off. And I wanna show you guys. So maybe they'll film it at their shop, but I don't wanna build the motor. I'm a little freaked out by like pulling this thing apart. If it was a Subaru or if it was an Evo, I wouldn't be as afraid, but these motors are so expensive. Like the blocks alone are worth about 7 grand. Like just a bare block. So I don't really want to mess anything up with it. I don't want to try and build it myself, or maybe I do. I don't know. I'm indecisive. No more talking. Let's get this thing ripped apart.
Alice made it. That's good news.
Well, boys, snapped a bolt out of the turbo. I'm really glad that didn't happen when we were putting the downpipes on. All right, boys, so you know when you think something's gonna go really quick and it ends up not? This bell housing is so difficult to get to these back bolts. So there's 2 bolts that sit on the back side, and unfortunately the power steering rack is right in the way of the 2 nuts, or 2 bolts, and they're so hard to get to. So I got one out, but look how I had to get this. So I literally jacked the entire subframe and motor up. I put this book underneath, and then what I had to do to be able to get enough clearance is I used my low profile jack. I raised this side, and the bolt sits right back here, and I had to use this wrench right here to get to it. Such a pain. I have one more to go, and then the bell housing should be completely disconnected. But honestly, what a pain to get this stupid bell housing off. So then we'll get the turbos, and you guys, I broke a few studs, but it's okay because we're getting these things rebuilt. So honestly, it doesn't really matter. Broke 2 studs on this one. I don't know how I didn't break them getting them out the first time, getting them out the second time. Maybe I was rushing it, I don't know, but it's okay. Everything's fixable, right? All right, so I'm now gonna jack this side of the subframe up, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to get this bolt. wish me luck. Oh my God, that last one was so annoying to get. I never want to have to do that again. Boom, baby. Oh, if there's another one, I might die. No? Okay, I don't think anything is holding this. Hello? Hello, motherfucker. Little motivation. All right, so it is the next day. We ran out of sunlight. This is how you guys know that I'm winging it and I have no idea what I'm doing. So I got all the bolts out of the flywheel and I couldn't get it to slide off. And I was like, dude, what am I doing wrong? Could not figure it out. There's a little viewport and I guess you have to spin the crank and there's 6 10mm bolts that you have to take off on the damper disc. So if you guys can see that little hole right there, you have to spin the crank and then there's 6 10mm bolts that hold that. See if this thing will slide off. All right. Honestly, I'm so done fighting with this thing. So I can't get the bell housing to come off. So what I'm gonna do, I think it's hitting on the subframe mount that connects to the bell housing. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to disconnect the motor mounts and hopefully lift the motor off of the subframe with my engine hoist, and then that'll give me enough room to slide the bell housing off. And yeah, what a pain, but we're gonna attempt to get this thing off. It's like, I feel like car projects always go like that though. You never know. Like, I thought I'd have this whole thing disassembled in a day and I'm 2 days into it and have barely gotten anything off. But that's just how this stuff goes. This is when I pretend I know what I'm doing because I have no idea. I'm just taking nuts and bolts off and pretending like I know. You guys are here for it. All right, so I finally figured out what I'm gonna do to get this thing up on a hoist and then get the motor onto the engine stand. So let me show you guys, if you guys ever end up pulling a GTR motor, I think this should work, but we'll find out. So the other night I went ahead and I took the intake manifold off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use these holes, hook those up. And honestly, I think that should work just fine. I think it's gonna be strong enough. I guess we'll find out, but yeah, this is a Harbor Freight special. I used this when I pulled the motor on my Evo, but I think that's gonna be my best bet. So we'll use the attachment. We're gonna hook it up to these bolt holes right here, and we're gonna hope for the best. And then the only thing holding the motor to the subframe are these guys right here. So I just need to undo those, and then we're gonna pray for the best, and then we should be able to get the bell housing off, because that bell housing has been a total pain. It took me like 2 hours to get those bolts out the other night. Let's get this thing fully stripped, baby. All right, boys, so I low-key hate how long everything takes. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have this whole thing disassembled in one day. Nope, we are out of daylight, and honestly, I hate filming at night because I have to shut the garage and the lighting in here sucks, and I want you guys to get the best viewing experience possible, so I only have, you know, just a little bit of time during the day. So I'm gonna pick this back up tomorrow, but here is what we've got. So the subframe is disconnected from the motor. I got the motor on an engine stand, which took a little bit of time. I had to go on a bolt run to get bolts that were long enough to go into the motor. But check this out, she is so close to being ready to ship off. But yeah, there's really not that much left. This thing is coming apart slowly but surely, and soon enough the GTR will be back on the road, baby. Okay, I lied. I have a little bit more daylight, just a little bit. So I'm gonna keep plugging for probably another 45 minutes. But yeah, this is for you guys, okay? I want you guys to get the best experience possible, and the lighting just sucks, and I hate watching YouTube videos when the lighting sucks, so I don't want you guys to have to watch it, you know, you feel me? So this is for the boys and the maybe 1-2 females that watch these videos. So you already know. Let's get this thing disassembled. I don't know what I should do next. I should probably go ahead and get the front diff off. Yeah, front diff too. So yeah, let's get her done, boys.
Thank you, Chris. Eskimos.
Alright, so it is a new day, we got more sunshine, and my goal today is to get the complete motor torn down, or at least most of the way torn down. So I want to get turbos off, I want to get the rest of the fuel rail off, there's some water pipes I need to get disconnected, and then we can take the timing cover off, we can strip this thing down, take the oil pans off, and we can see what the damage is. So I'm going to try and get as much done today as I possibly can, but I have about 3 hours. Let's just see what we can get done. But I'm gonna take my time, but I really wanna get this thing stripped down so I can see what the damage is. And then before the end of the week, I really want to ship it off. The sooner I get it shipped, the sooner we get a built motor back and can get this thing back on the road.
Let's have dinner by the lake. You can meet me 45 past 8. You look beautiful today. But I guess that's every day. Okay, I don't wanna fall in love, but you making it too hard for me. I know I'm stuck in my ways, but you've been stuck in my mind all day. Stuck in my mind all day.
Alright, so I was getting ready to take the turbos off. You guys want to see something crazy? Look at that. That thing is absolutely chewed. I don't think turbos are supposed to look like that. What in the world? That thing, okay. These are definitely getting rebuilt. So the deeper I dive into this thing, the more I'm realizing whoever touched this motor before me had absolutely no idea what they're doing. Like, obviously, I'm not a pro mechanic. I don't know what I'm doing either, but every single exhaust manifold bolt was basically hand tight. I'm just glad everything's getting pulled apart. Turbos are gonna get rebuilt, and or I'm just gonna buy all brand new ones. Everything on this motor will be completely refreshed, and she's gonna be perfect when it's done. Well, turbo is officially off, and she is cooked. This thing is so done. That's pretty crazy. That's some good carnage right there. right, boys, you wanna know what I hate? Having an impact that's not an impact. This is why you don't buy Harbor Freight tools, because they suck. It can't even break these bolts loose. So, old trusty, baby, let's get it.
Owls made it. Eskimos.
All right, honestly, that was a super good day in the garage. I am so stoked with the amount of progress we made. We got both turbos off, we got the coolant feed neck off, all of the other accessories. This block is looking super bare. So honestly, what a beautiful day in the garage. It's getting super cold, that's why I'm gonna call it, and the sun's about to set. So here's what we got done. So you guys saw we got the coolant neck off, we got the coil packs out, we also got the injectors, the wiring harness for the injectors out, intake manifolds bent off. This thing is looking so bare. So we have a few pulleys left, the crank pulley, and these two right here. Then we can go ahead, pull the timing cover off. We can get the timing components disassembled. I'll pull the heads, and then we can disassemble the bottom end. So slowly but surely we were making progress. Honestly, kind of crazy. And then I did bust that axle, so I need to get that off, but look at this. This is absolutely insane to me. I cannot believe this was the heart of this, and now she's out. She's about to come back and be so much better. I get it. I think I finally get it. I get why people do this. It is so satisfying. Now, obviously I haven't fixed it. I haven't like made it better, but just disassembling it and like taking it apart and having frustrating moments and things that don't go my way, when they do go my way, it's so satisfying. Like, this is almost as good or better than the gym. It's weird to say. I mean, obviously I'm gonna keep doing both, but like wrenching in cars is it's just my thing. So I'm gonna call it a day. You guys saw that turbo is smoked. I don't know why one of them is smoked, but yeah, the thing was shredded. So I mean, it's a good excuse to get bigger turbos, or I'll probably just send those into FP and have them build them out to greens. And then yeah, we're gonna have some FP greens. I'm shooting for like 700-800 actual wheel, and I am in Colorado, so up here at elevation we don't make as much power, but she should be pretty nasty. If everything goes smooth, everything goes correct, which I'm praying it does, she's gonna make some jam, boys. So that is the end of day 3 pulling this thing apart. Tomorrow should be the last day, maybe. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to say tomorrow's going to be the last day, but I don't want to rush this either. I'm just enjoying the process. All right, end of day 3. I'm pretty stoked with the progress we've made. I will catch you guys in the morning. All right, so I'm bundled up. It's cold outside. Check this out. It's a cold one today, but it's snowing. The garage is freezing, but I really want to get this motor disassembled, so we don't have that much left to do. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pop off the rest of the pulleys, get this front timing cover off, get the timing components off. Then we can pull the heads and see what the damage is. We're so close. So let's get this thing stripped. Well, shit. All right, so we had to take the Tacoma. We went to Harbor Freight. You guys know how I feel about Harbor Freight. It might not be the highest quality tools, but I'm a Harbor Freight guy. Like, I'll never switch up. I'll never go to Home Depot. I'll never go to Lowe's. I'll never do Amazon or Walmart. It's like Harbor Freight. That's my place. I couldn't get that crank pulley bolt out, and I feel like it's a habit of mine to like text people and be like, yo, can you help? Do you have something I can borrow? And then I kind of realized I was like, I'm the only person that can help me, you know? And it's like, that's kind of in all aspects of my life though. And I think it was kind of a moment where I like was like, oh, who can I text and who can I borrow a tool from? And I'm like, no, just go buy a tool. Like, you're gonna use it again. Like, just go get what you need. I know that probably sounds stupid to some of you guys, but at least for me, it's easy for me to like rely on other people, but I should be relying on myself. So we got a high torque, no, we got an ultra torque Hercules impact wrench. Check this thing out. All right, so if this thing doesn't break that bolt loose, I think I'm screwed. It says 1,500 foot-pounds of breakaway torque. I think Hercules is gonna save the day. Let's pray. I guess I'm just tired of like relying on people or like expecting people to help me when it's like, I'm capable of helping myself, you know? That probably doesn't make any sense to you guys. You're probably like, dude, shut up. I'm just trying to let you guys into my brain and how it works. You know, I was like texting one of my boys and was like, yo, do you have an impact I can borrow that'll get this? It's like, dude, just go spend the money. Go get something that you need. Like, you're wrenching now. Like, just buy the things you need. So we got another tool to add to the Harbor Freight collection. So let's go home. Let's get this crank bolt. It's gonna be good. We got this. We got this. Right, boys? Yeah. Ready to see this beast? Boom, baby, we got that impact. Big old motherfucker. Look at this thing. Dude, she's massive. Look at that. That's level 3. See how she does. I don't know. Gonna figure this out. We're gonna get her. Let's go, baby. Woo! Fuck you, motherfucker. Boom, look at that. Let's go, boys. Dude, Harbor Freight for the W, baby. So this is the Ultra Torque. Product review. It sucks. I'm just playing. It's pretty good. Why you no come off? How's a W? I'm stoked about that. Woo! She is off. Got as much done as I could, but the sun's going down, the snow is coming, and I am so cold. I needed to leave the garage door open, and I hate filming with bad lighting. I got the timing cover off. I think I'm gonna call it there for today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna pick it up. It's supposed to be like 48 and sunny, so hopefully it's way nicer out. We'll see. Check this out. Timing cover is completely off. I just need to disassemble all the timing components. That way I can get the heads pulled off. Once the heads are pulled off, then we can see the pistons. We can see if there's any damage on the top. And yeah, this impact, honestly, probably one of the best investments that I've ever made. This thing made light work. So it's not like it's some crazy upgrade, but you know, I'll take what I can get. So I have my mini impact, I have my big impact now. We're getting there. It is a new day, and I am not leaving the garage until this motor is at least down to the short block. So I'm gonna try and get everything done today. I have 3.5 hours until the sun goes down. It's freezing in here, but we're gonna get this thing done. So you guys saw timing cover is off. I'm gonna go ahead, strip down all the timing components, put those in a box, and then we're gonna pull the heads. We're gonna see the carnage. I'm pretty excited. This is gonna be super fun, and we're right there. It's like, this is it. All right, so I don't know if that was the correct way to do it, but I ended up getting the valve covers off, and then I had to undo the timing tensioner thing right here, and that gave me enough slack to pull both of those off. I don't know if this is normal. I'm assuming it's not. So I go in here, look at this, and I swear, like, I didn't touch these. So I took the valve covers off. I don't know if you can see that. These are literally loose. Some of them are super tight. That one's loose. All right, so there's 2 on this side, and then check this side out. Those are tight. And these are like, I'm spinning it with my fingers. Yep, this one's loose. That one's loose. That one's super loose. That one looks like it wasn't even tightened. That one's loose. Oh my God. No way that's normal, right, boys? Crazy. I don't know who touched this thing before me. I'm like nervous to see if they messed with the bottom end. I don't know if this thing's built. Like, I don't know. Let's keep pulling stuff apart, and I guess we'll find out what all was done to this thing.
Eskimos.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but yeah, this was RTV'd. I guess this thing has been apart before, and yeah, so we're gonna need a new whatever that is. Nice. God damn. Oh, Jesus. Bitch. God damn. The head should be free. Maybe. I think. I don't think anything's holding it on. Yeah, boy, she's gonna pop off. You ready? Split these. Ow, damn it. Oh, shit. Alright, well. I did that, baby. I mean, everything looks okay, I think. All right, boys, so it is late. It's so cold in the garage. But you guys saw we got the head off of the left side or the right side. Yeah, the right side, I think. No, yeah, left side head off. And my heater knows it's way too cold for me to be out here, but I told you guys I'm not gonna stop till this thing's disassembled. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna try and get the head bolts out of the other side. Honestly, to get those things broken loose, that was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Like, the amount of torque I had to put on those, like, I thought I was gonna strip the heads off, but it was fine. Head came off, but check this out. Honestly, I don't see any damage, but I don't know. She's gonna get built anyways. So here she is. I mean, honestly, the pistons don't look that bad. I mean, they look a little worn, I guess, but nothing terrible. The cylinder walls feel fine, no issues there. So I'm assuming this thing's never been fully opened up. I think something was done to the heads. Looks pretty good. All right, and you guys can probably see I put a ghetto light up there so you guys have a little bit better viewing angles. So yeah, let's struggle. Let's get this other head off, and I'll probably call it there for tonight. And then first thing tomorrow morning, I'm gonna get up and get this thing completely disassembled. It's gonna be sick. So, okay. Let's struggle to get this other head off. Ooh, that was close. Almost lost a really expensive piece. Boys, look at that. She is almost completely stripped. Just have this little centerpiece, no idea what that is, but dude, it looks good though. Yeah, cylinder walls look fine, pistons look fine. It is the next day, the sun is out, it is beautiful. I'm so stoked to work on the GTR today. We are so close to getting this motor pulled apart. I got both heads off last night. Probably one of the most difficult things I've ever done is getting those head bolts out. They were on there pretty good. So the pistons honestly look fine. I'm gonna show you guys here in a sec. So I'm hoping when I take the oil pan off and I get the rods and pistons out, hopefully the bearings are gone. I'm praying that the bottom end on this thing is toast because so far everything looks good. Cylinder walls feel fine. Pistons look fine. Let's hope and pray that I didn't pull this thing apart for no reason. But either way, she's getting built. So I mean, there's a silver lining to it. But here, check this out. So now that we have some light in this garage, so here, I mean, honestly, the pistons look fine. There's no pitting on them. Cylinder walls feel fine. No scratches. We don't have any holes in the block, so the block is savable, thank God. Because if you guys know anything about the VR38, these blocks, so expensive. 7 grand. Just this right there, 7 grand. So thank God that's good. And so I know pulling things apart is way easier than putting them back together, but I think I've taken my time. I've labeled everything. Like every single bolt is in a bag and it's labeled exactly what it goes to. I have videos of the process. So I think it's probably gonna take longer to put everything back together, but I think I'll be able to successfully do it. I never thought I'd be pulling a motor apart on a GTR. But here we are. This year has been crazy. I literally started the year with an STI and I didn't do anything to it. I like swapped some interior pieces, did a few mods on the exterior, like did new wheels, and I thought that was a build. And then I did an Evo. That Evo got wrecked, but I didn't really do anything crazy to it. And then I bought the Evo with the blown motor, swapped a new motor into it, and that was like probably the biggest thing I've ever done. And now I bought my dream car. My dream car blew up and now we're rebuilding it. So this is the biggest project I've ever taken on, and I'm so stoked to be here. You know, this is one of those years for me where I didn't make as much money as I was hoping to in my business, but I've learned so much and I'm so grateful. It's been probably the toughest year of my life with all my health stuff and a lot of other variables. Man, I've learned a lot, and this whole car thing has been super fun. Sometimes life isn't all about money, and I mean, yeah, I did buy my dream car and like a lot of my money is tied up in this thing now, which is okay. You know, I probably should have bought a house, but you know, like they say, you can sleep in a car, but you can't drive a house. But I guess what I'm getting at is I've learned a lot of skills this year, and obviously I'm no like top tier mechanic, but I feel like I'm learning things and I'm doing it, and like I'm just challenging myself, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of pulling things apart and hoping for the best. But we're out here, we're doing this, and like you guys are just here with me and kind of along for the journey of me learning how to wrench on these things. Super cool. Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this. I've honestly tried to film every single step of this process because I want you guys to get the best video possible, and I want to document this the best way possible. Let's pull this thing apart the rest of the way. Here's to me hoping I can put this thing back together. Like always, nothing is going as planned. I cannot get this front cover off to save my life. I chipped a piece of the block off. Unfortunately, it's not that big of a deal. We'll just, you know, we'll save it as a souvenir. It's fine. It wasn't necessary, right? Yeah. I can't get this cover off though, so I don't know what to do. I've been trying to pry it. There's like a little bit of a gap, but I don't know if it's just because this RTV is so old. So there's nothing holding it to the front of the engine block anymore. So I don't know. I don't want to break this thing because I'm sure it's super expensive. And then I'm trying to get the oil pump out as well. I undid all the bolts. Don't know the secret to that either. I can't get it to slide out. So, you know, this is why you should probably be a GTR tech to work on one of these things. We're gonna get this off one way or another. Wish me luck. It's got the oil pan off, and check this out. Look at that. Look at all that bearing material. Now this is just the lower oil pan, but holy crap. Well, I guess it looks like we didn't pull the motor apart for no reason. Look at that. That is honestly crazy. That's just in the bottom of the oil pan. Like, look at all that bearing material. Yeah, I think we spun a bearing, boys. She is needing rebuilt. Oh, and it also turns out I'm kind of an idiot, and there is 2 bolts holding this bottom piece to the back side of the timing covers. I need to flip this thing upside down, get these 2 bolts out, and then this top piece should come out.
Eskimos.
Alright, got the girdle off, and one of the sets of bearings came off of right there. Still has the bearings right here, but honestly they look okay. I mean, you guys probably know more than I do, but so far I'm not seeing anything crazy. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get these rod caps off, and then I'll be able to pull out the crank, and then we can see what the bearings look like on there. But yeah, so far, like I said, I don't really know what I'm looking at. Everything looks okay. So I'm 99% sure we're just gonna go ahead and replace the crank anyways. So it's not like it really matters if this one's in good shape or not. But yeah, it is so crazy to see this. Like, there's literally nothing left to this. It's basically just a bare block with a crank and some rods. Got about an hour. We're gonna get this thing fully torn down. Alright, honestly, this is so wild to me. So we got the bare block all stripped down, everything is out. Well, we still need to remove oil squirters, but that's not a big deal. This thing is completely stripped, and so I tried to organize everything. So I got all like the rod caps, the bearings out, the rods and pistons out, and I was like, there's only 7 main bearings. It's like, where's the 8th? I can't find it. And so what I'm wondering is if it spun a main bearing. Is that a thing? It spins a main bearing and it completely eats itself. I only have 7 main bearings. I have all 12 rod bearings, but the main bearings, I can't find the 8th. We have the rods and the pistons. Honestly, everything looks fine. It doesn't look like I have a bent rod. That's what I was wondering. I was like, oh, maybe I do have a bent rod and it's knocking from that. No bent rods. Rods look great, pistons look fine. We have the rod bearings right here. Rod bearings look fine. I mean, they have a little bit of wear, but honestly, they're okay. And then here is what I think happened. So if you look at this one is all kinds of like orange and metallic-y. So I think this one was starting to get eaten away at. I have 7. There should be 8. There's nothing left on the crank. Is that a thing? You guys know better than I do, but I'm either stupid or it ate a main bearing. And that's why I lost oil pressure. I think we found the issue, but I honestly don't know because like I said, these look totally fine. Like the rods and pistons look great, but we lost some bearings. Okay, look, this one obviously started to get eaten away at, but all of these ones look pretty okay. I had to tear this whole entire thing apart for a bearing. That is insane to me. So I don't know, does that mean that we just slap new bearings in it and put it back together? I don't think so, because I think the crank is probably needing replaced. So I guess we could do a new crank, new bearings, and then leave the stock pistons? I don't know. You guys know better than I do. Let me know down below what you think the best route is to go. Since this thing's already stripped, I'm like, we might as well build it. How does that happen though? How do you lose a main bearing? Did the oil pump fail? I don't know. These are all questions that I don't have the answer to, but that's pretty cool. Like, I did that. I just tore my whole entire motor apart, the whole GTR. Like, that's like the end of the teardown. That's crazy, dude. All right, so honestly, that's one of the craziest feelings. Like, looking at this, it's just a graveyard of parts. This thing is fully torn down. It's down to a bare block, like just literally a bare block. That's insane. I don't know where to go from here. I'm glad the crankshafts for these are only like $2,300. That's sick, dude. All right, and this is another thing. So I was talking to one of my good friends and he was saying, as soon as I got the oil pressure light, if I would have shut it down, I probably wouldn't have had this issue. You live and you learn. I feel like this is gonna be the best decision I ever made to do, is to like pull this thing apart and rebuild it for you guys. But at the same time, 4 miles of driving might have cost me an entire motor. Kinda crazy, but yeah, I think that's what it was, is just a spun main bearing. Oh, well, sun is going down. This thing is stripped. Another really, really surreal moment for me. Like, this is so crazy. I don't know how I did this. Like, it's so insane to me that I've literally torn this thing down to the bare block. And I told you guys I was gonna do it. I told you I wasn't gonna give up on the car. I wasn't gonna give up on me. Like, I'm in this era of life where I just can't give up on things. A lot has gone wrong, but a lot has gone good. And I think there's a silver lining to everything. And especially with this, it was one of those things. It could have left me down. It could have left me depressed, but instead of letting it consume me and like, I know it's just a car, but I chose to do something with it. And here we are. Like, I did this. I did it. And now obviously I know it's not back together. It's not perfect. It's not back on the road. We're halfway there. The initial teardown was really difficult for me and I had to learn how everything goes. And it was definitely probably one of the hardest projects I've ever had to do, even just tearing this thing down. And I don't know. I'm sure there's gonna be people out there that judge me for the way I tore it down, or, you know, they'll have their opinions. I'm doing it. I'm out here trying to build my dream car. And I hope I can inspire some of you guys to not either give up on your projects, or if something goes wrong, to fix it and tackle it. Because seriously, if I can do it, like, I suck at this stuff. Like, I'm not good at it. This stuff is really challenging for me. I'm not gonna give up. She's gonna come back and she's gonna be nasty. She's gonna be fast. She's gonna be reliable. It's gonna be really surreal when it's done. Oh, there's a hot air balloon. That's kind of dope. I also just keep reminding myself to enjoy the build, because that's kind of my new motto in life, is just enjoy the build. Whatever. I keep telling you guys, just enjoy everything and enjoy the process. And I'm gonna let you guys in on something. If you guys stayed till the end of the video, which I don't know how long this video is gonna be, it's probably pretty long, I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. So I'm actually coming out with merchandise. I know I have a really small channel, but I've worked on this stuff for so long. I had a vision, I had a dream, and it's perfect. That should be here in the next few weeks, and I'm so excited. It's gonna be my brand. I cannot wait to show you guys. You guys are gonna freak out. Like, if you like GTRs, you like me, you like what I represent, you'll really like this merch. So it's so sick. I'm so excited. That's gonna be the end of this video. We tore it down. I need to figure out what to do with everything now. But once I figure that out, I'll obviously update you guys. I'm either gonna send it out, or I don't know. We'll see. So let me know what you guys would do. I spun a bearing, which isn't that big of a deal. It wasn't even knocking. The block's fine. There's no holes in it. It's savable. She's coming back, baby. We're gonna get this thing back on the roads. So that's all I have for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please share this video with somebody else that might like cars or GTRs, you know, something. I'm really trying to grow this channel and I'm super motivated, and I'm gonna keep the content coming. This GTR is just the first build of many on the channel. I love this stuff. I wanna get really good at it, and I wanna just keep sharing all this cool stuff with you guys. That's it. I love you guys. Thanks for rocking with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. I fucked that up.